There was a Hitler 1934 speech that he gave to the National Socialist Women's League, where he said the best of times for Germany were when men need not fear being ousted from their position by women. And at the same time, women had no need for this quote unquote emancipation, which was an idea from the Jewish intellectuals. So so there's always this, there's men telling women that, hey, you actually don't want to be a CEO. You don't want this.
Right. So when my father got out of college in 1950, he went to the top newspaper in Baltimore, and he got a job as an editor. Now, I guess it was between him and two other white male Christian guys, right? It wasn't hard. And these days, it is more difficult if you're, a white guy, because there are women, there are people of color, right? There's so much more competition. And I think that a lot of the sexism and God knows racism in this country that we're seeing is a result of white men feeling, really threatened that they're losing their position. But if you take a step back from that and you just look at the overall economic good of the country, keeping 50% of the people locked up, keeping them home, perhaps brilliant scientists and doctors, and you'll never realize that talent. You'll never realize the economic profitability that can come from it. So I don't think it's a good idea overall to keep us home cooking and cleaning.
No, horrible for the country. And just like you were saying, I think you touched on something here, that this is predominantly a white male fear. They call it white fright. And if we look at, even more women nowadays are attending university than men for the first time ever. And I do believe that a lot of this misogyny today comes down to fear of economic security, that your job is going to be taken by a woman, but because she's qualified, not because she's a woman, because she has more qualifications. So this encourage, instead of, and like you said, the religion, Genesis, they blame the women, but the men should be blamed as well for being weak. Like you were weak, and not even, and it's time for you to accept this world that we're in right now should include women and minorities, because we are all human beings. So the white male hegemony is crumbling, but that's not a bad thing. That was a established hierarchy that needs to be dissolved.
Right. And I think a lot of what we're seeing, you mentioned at the start of the show, just all of the social upheaval, that's going on. And I think that we may be hearing the bellowing of a gravely wounded dinosaur, right? He's ruled the earth for uncontested for tens of thousands of years, and he suddenly understands the possibility of his own extinction. He's not going to rule the earth anymore, and he's raging against the dying of the light. I think that is what we're seeing right now.